I'm 25 years old with more than $30,000 worth of credit card debt.
This is day one of paying off $356,819.47.
The amount of debit and credit cards that were declined were astronomical.
I didn't think it was this bad, but yeah, it is. A lot of Americans aren't broke. They're just stuck in debt. And the people in this video are a perfect example of how this turns into a real debt crisis.
This is day one of paying off $356,819.47. And I have a goal to pay off $356,819.47, and we're going to start documenting it to see how fast we can pay this off. The debts that we have outstanding, we have a pay it forward. People came to help us as we were impacted by a hurricane. They gave us $2,000. I don't feel like that's our money, so we're going to pass that on. We owe our kids $750 as we just were hit with a lot of unexpected stuff this past year. We need to give that back to them. Hospital bills, we owe $3,753. We have a high deductible healthcare plan, had an emergency room visit late last year, and now we have that bill to deal with. Our truck, we owe $4,901 on that. Interest-free credit card, $24,235 on that. We completely depleted our emergency fund this year. We are going to pay ourselves back, so I'm going to count that as debt. We owe ourselves this, $50,000. The last one is our mortgage. We owe $271,180 on that. At the end of the year, with the plan we already have in place, we'll have paid off our credit cards, the truck, and the hospital bill. And then we're going to add some side hustles on top of that to just make this go even faster. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments. If you are excited to see how we progress on this journey, definitely hit that follow button.
$300,000. Oh my God. I'm speechless. I can't even imagine trying to pay that off without feeling suffocated every day.
If you are a poor, like myself, you might be asking the question, how do people have money? How are they affording anything in life? And I'm here to tell you, they're not. How do I know? I'm a barista. I am. And today, the amount of debit and credit cards that were declined were astronomical. I'm talking the highest amount ever in one day that I've had to go up to people and be like, hey, I'm so sorry. Actually, this didn't go through. Do you have another card? And then them all giving me the same answer. Oh, really? No, I don't. And then leaving. Because, they're just giving me their cards, hoping, praying, not checking their bank account, just hoping it gets through so they can have a little caffeine to get them through their day. We don't have money. None of us have money, They're just pretending they do, which sometimes works. Sometimes you have a few bucks just to get your coffee. Other times you don't. It was sad. It was a sad day. I also, during the holidays, this is the best tipping season. People love to tip during the holidays, and I know a lot of people feel weird about tipping. That's your business. I will tell you, it is the lowest tipping season I've ever had. And it's fine. It's fine. I'm not mad at it. I'm just letting you guys know where we stand. Economically, it's low. So if you're like, I'm so poor, everyone else has money, we don't. None of us do. We're faking it, baby. We're pretending.
She's so right. A lot of people are just faking it. On the outside, they look like they have it all. But in reality, they can't even afford a cup of coffee.
Put a finger down if you're 31 years old and you've accumulated over $40,000 in credit card debt over the last 10 years, and you've never really had a plan or take it seriously until a few months ago when you realized just paying the minimum payments just isn't going to make a dent in your progress. And now you're finally ready to start this journey and take it seriously. And you're not ashamed to talk about it.
I'm 25 years old with more than $30,000 worth of credit card debt. And this morning I found out that I have 2 medical bills that went to collections. I've never had anything go to collections before. I've been up to date with all my credit card payments, so having something like this show on my report is very upsetting. I had no idea that would happen. I got the medical bills. I didn't pay them by the due date, but I didn't realize that they would actually go into collections. So that is something new that I've learned, and now I need to figure out how to get that taken care of. I know that those stay on your credit reports for a while. I need to see what I can do to get that removed, if I can do maybe a payment plan on those or something. Because my goal right now is to pay off the credit card debt, but now I have $2,000 more worth of medical debt. I'm keeping my hopes up. I'm staying positive on this journey. It's not easy, and finding out new things like these really is discouraging. I'm keeping my trust in God, and I know that He will work things out for me.
It's never too late, but stuff like this is also why so many are trapped. When you think you're finally making progress, something always has to happen.
I'm giving myself 365 days to pay off $159,216.61. I saw another creator do this. She had much less debt than I did, only like $40,000. But I thought this was kind of fun. Nice, fun little series, so I wanted to try it. Here's a list of all of our debts. I'm starting with the smallest. My husband was just paid his bonus, so I'm going to go ahead and pay off my smallest debt. I'm going to do the snowball method. My smallest debt is $253.33. That's my Citi credit card. So I'm going to go ahead and pay that off. Some rules that I have for this is that I have to pay at least $1 every day towards debt. My only other rule is that I have to do some sort of income producing activity every single day. So listing something on Facebook Marketplace, something on eBay, something that will generate income at some point. Today's income producing activities has been calling some insurance leads and listing some cards on the internet to sell. So the balance was a little bit higher, $315.58, because I had a print-on-demand automatic payment come through for one of my Etsy pages. But I was already paid out by Etsy, so that'll go directly towards that balance. That brings my new balance to $158,963.28. So follow along to see how this next year goes and how much debt I can pay off.
Okay, with all these videos, I'm always questioning what exactly are they spending their money on to get to that amount of debt. But that's good for her that she's trying to pay it off.
I don't know why I'm making this because nobody's going to watch it, but I created this account to talk about and track my progress in paying off the immense debt that I am in. 90% of the debt I'm in is student loan debt. So a lot of people have told me we'll just file bankruptcy, but unfortunately I can't do that for a large sum of the debt I'm in. So I'm using social media as a way to try to pay off my debt. In this video, I'm just going to go over the different kind of debt I'm in, how much it is, and where it's coming from. Let's jump right in. This is my Discover credit card, and I have about $9,000 there. This is my Capital One credit card. I have about $6,000 there. This is what's remaining on my car. I bought my car back in November of 2022, so COVID pricing had affected this. I do split my car payment into two during the month. I pay $300 at the beginning of the month, and then that $346.91 at the end of the month. Time for the fun stuff, my student loans. This is the smallest student loan account that I have. This is the only loan that is not federal as well. So this is a private lender. I owe about $4,300 there. This is the second most scary one. I have federal loans in my name, and then my mom took out loans for me as well. So this half is in my name. I owe $99,000 here, and the monthly payment on this amount where things sit currently is $1,000 a month, and these payments are supposed to kick in December of 2026. This is the first loan in my mom's name, sitting at about $40,000. The second loan sitting at about $36,000. And the last loan sitting at about $41,000. And the monthly payment for the loans in her name are about $1,400 per month. So I'm looking at a total monthly payment of $2,400 just for my student loans, which is absurd. I am working 3 jobs currently to try to chip away at my debt. And I know what you're probably thinking. How could you put yourself in this situation? What is wrong with you? What did you do? Yada, yada, yada. I've heard it all. I'm very aware of my situation. And unfortunately, life just didn't work out the way that I thought it would.
That amount of debt is terrifying. And it's even worse since most of it is student loans. But anyways, guys, always budget and spend wisely. But don't forget to like and subscribe.